forgot, tonight's jazz night. Hey guys, don't forget about Poetry Night on Tuesdays. It was a little light last week. Open mic. Well, good evening. Bill Taylor checking in from the KENS 5 Digital Center. Blessings to you and yours. It's an active night on radar and a very strong thunderstorm blowing up over Dimmitt County. No warning just yet, but some nickel-sized hail so far. You can see it splitting Eagle Pass and Cotulla, and it's powering up right now. Whenever I see, when you see that cluster of lightning like that. Let's get in here a little bit closer now, but you can also see that we have pretty good downpours across southern Bexar County, those exiting near Seguin to the east. They've all been moving about 20 miles per hour. No flood threat now. It's going to take a while. We've got the flood watch in effect, but that's not the case where this storm is powering up. And it was interesting that just before the 10 p.m., the Severe Prediction Center upgraded this region to a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. And I had that in the 10 p.m. Newscast. So I think it was about 9:30 that they upgraded it. But right over Asherton right now, you can see this is a very strong thunderstorm. And remember, whenever you see that cluster of lightning like that, that's an indication of very strong updraft. And the stronger the updraft, the more cold air you're tapping into. This storm's growing vertically, and so when it taps into colder air, the hail can get larger. So far, only nickel size that we're hearing about. I want to take off the lightning and see what kind of, oh wow, over Asherton, that's a very strong rainfall rate south of Carrizo Springs here. So let's just stop this and see what we can get on a possible rainfall rate off that. No? Let me see this tool. No, that's hail then. So this will be, okay, that's why it's not displaying. It'll be, it says 50 inches per hour. And that's why it's not displaying, because it's obviously so ridiculous. But that's because that's the hail core. So let me show you on our hail tracker what size hail we're talking about here. Okay. Yeah, see, look at that. Three-inch, about the size of a good apple, large apple. Not quite softball size. Oh, there it is, the warning issued right there. We caught it live. I had a feeling. Asherton, Carrizo Hill until 12:30. So I will, let's see. Let's go back to radar, because the important thing for me to do now is to get a crawl up on KENS 5 television. So let me just save this first. And get back to the radar. Okay, so there's the warning. Take lightning off and show you that phenomenal rainfall rate. Okay, just give you an idea where we are. There's Somerset in southern Bexar County. Okay, I will return shortly. All right, Bill Taylor back. Just wanted to run a quick crawl on Ken's 5 television, back just tracking this storm. Southwest of the city, you can see we're down in Dimmitt County is where this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 12:30. Asherton and Carrizo Hill, the locations as this storm is moving at about 25 to 30 miles per hour off to the east. We've seen a pretty good hail core, but it's that intense rain too, just east of Carrizo Springs. So it kind of clipped. Carrizo Springs got heavy rain, but of course the core of it is a little farther south, east. Let me show you what Hail Tracker's given us on hail size. This has been tremendous. Let me get that first marker out of the way there. Sorry about that. Oh, wrong one. The hail core now, not at 3, but 2.2. So that's a little bit larger than a golf ball. I mean, that's going to do some damage. So let's see a little tracker here. Let's take that off there. And just say hello, good evening. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll try to get to some questions. I just want to get some of this info out. They could. Eagle Pass, that was the region that at 10 o'clock I showed that, the Severe Prediction Center upgraded it to a 2, level 2 risk. And so I said, okay, interesting. And it was just a really small pocket, never issued like a severe thunderstorm watch. But just by saying that it's going from a 1 to a 2 is indicating, look, and this storm powered up fast. This guy right here, north of Catarina, moving east at, let me make sure, on at 25 miles per hour, I believe. 30, actually. All right, so due east, right? And so let's get in here. Perfect. I always like to track the hail core. And this is damaging size hail. So east at 30, I'll give it a little jog, but Cotulla is definitely in the path. Valley Wells at 11:58, Cotulla 12:30, which would mean, if this storm holds together, which I would have every indication that it would, atmosphere very, very ripe. We've had dew points, only fall to 65, 66 today. They were a lot higher yesterday and powered up a lot of hailstorms across the hill country. So this is, that hail core is growing. There it is. Let's see what we've got now. Right in here, back up to 2.7, so getting a little bit larger. Remember, the hailstone size is determined by how many trips the stone takes inside the thunderstorm cell. So the updrafts get so strong, it can go upwards of 100 to 125 miles per hour, that just big inhale, and it's a tremendous wind energy column, and it takes hailstones higher up. They get to the cold air layer and collect more ice. They get back down on the descent, but the updraft gets it again. And so each trip, it's getting larger. Golf ball, baseball. And so that's when you can sometimes see some hailstones will be translucent enough because of the dry air. Remember, there's water and dryness, and it's all, and so when that occurs, you sometimes get a translucent hailstone that you can actually see the rings from, just looking at it. But then the other times you'll get what is a good hailstone, put it in the freezer, get it really ice cold for, like a day, and then cut it open, and you'll see the rings inside sometimes. Always indicating, again, how many trips it took inside there. So if this holds together, which again, every indication that it would, we'd see LaSalle County go under a severe thunderstorm warning as this storm moves east at 30 miles per hour, heading towards Cotulla. So anybody in this path, Cotulla itself 12:30, but Valley Wells, if you know this area, we're south of Highway 85, east of 83. We can get a little tighter and see if we've got, let's get back to, show you San Antonio. We've got a good cell here. Coming up on Medina Lake. We like that. slow down and just dump some more rain on Medina Lake. Levels have been up a little bit, 2.5 to 4.5. We'll take it as far as percentage full, so still just painfully dry. Some pretty good lightning. This is coming in on Helotes, which kicked off Corneyval today, night 1. So that's wrapped up now, so that's good. They'll get out of there in time to stay dry and get home safely. But let's hear for night 1 of Corneyval. They had their rodeo, a lot of fun. And yeah, just a big 4 nights out in H-Town getting corny. Make sure you get corn in the cup from Juan right outside the Benke Pavilion. That's where the Spasmatics were on stage tonight. They're always the opening act. They're a lot of fun. They're an 80s cover band, a lot of fun. Spasmatics. All right, so nothing severe in the San Antonio area. The storm that I'm tracking is down to the south. Severe thunderstorm warning until 12:30. And this is a considerable threat. You know, destructive is the next category. I don't expect that. Winds are about 55 to 60 miles per hour on these gusts in here. The hail size, last check, was 2.7, and it's moving east at about 30 miles per hour. Show you something you watch for when storms get that little tilt. See that? See how it's taking a harder right? Almost kind of coming out of what we call a mean flow in the atmosphere. And when supercells start behaving that way and start turning on their own like that, it's an indication of a lot of strength, a very strong cell that's just breaking out of even the mean flow and becoming its own, you know, it can develop into an MCS in some cases. Those are mesoscale convective systems are called MCS. That can occur because it just breeds more storms because of all the outflow that's around it. Supercells can get dangerous fast. So it's crossing 85. And will impact, again, Cotulla. It'll be a while, but be prepared for some large hail in the path of this cell. Very heavy rainfall. Can show you that the lightning is pretty intense as we got this thunderstorm warning in effect until 12:30. This will stay south of San Antonio. Again, we're several miles southwest right now, just to give you an idea. From San Antonio, it's just under 100 miles, almost 80 miles now into Dimmitt County. And it's going to move into LaSalle County. That's Cotulla. Absolutely, Maria. No, you know, this is what I'm here to do. Most important part of what we do at KENS 5 is keep you ahead of storms like this. Anything that's going to impact your life, your property. I mean, these are strong, strong thunderstorms. And yeah, I was mentioning that the Severe Prediction Center doing a great job. Have to honor them tonight and the great meteorologists that are a part of this team. They upgraded this for tonight at about 8:39 p.m. And so we were able to get that word out and be prepared, you know, just to catch you up on what else is happening. San Antonio not included in that severe weather threat. That's a 1, as you can see, and it starts south of us and then moves farther south. But the flood watch does. Now, this is San Antonio through the Texas Hill Country through tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Edwards Plateau, which, by the way, if you don't understand what that is, that's San Antonio west of Del Rio and then up into the Hill Country. And then the Hill Country, and then the I-35 corridor as well. And this is, again, till 9 p.m. tomorrow night. That might be a little late. Looking at the latest forecast data, and let's just go ahead while we're here, show you that. We keep this rain really focused on the overnight hours. It's going to, the bad thing about that is going to be the morning commute. I mean, look at 5 a.m. This is such heavy, intense rainfall. I-35 corridor, which you know how busy that is. I mean, that's going to really be a bad hour to get that kind of heavy rain. I mean, that's the important part about being on tonight, to give you this heads up of what the radar should look like at 5 a.m. And this is intense for some, I mean, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, are on that commute path right there. So 5, 6, 7, I mean, it hardly a break. Look at that, 8 a.m. I mean, please allow extra time. If you know anyone that has to use this corridor tomorrow morning, just give them a call early. Give them a call 30 minutes earlier. Wake them up earlier. you just don't want to be in a rush in weather like this. You want to be able to, you know, drive safely and slowly and keep good distance, because it's going to be a dangerous commute tomorrow morning. That's very intense rainfall. And that'll lead to a lot of ponding quickly, a lot of flood problems. Remember all the construction and how that happens quickly. That happened out in 1604 at Hardy Oak. 1604 in Hardy Oak with that last heavy rain event of a week and a half ago. Do you remember that? And that flooded quickly because of, I guess, just, you know, the current stage of the construction. I mean, it's unavoidable, really. When you're working on the roads, what are you going to do? And so it just hit at the wrong time. I remember it happened on I-10 at Huebner years ago, right in front of where the new Trader Joe's is, and it happened right in that same spot. It would get a little bit low, and you'd pool up the water fast, and I mean, you'd have to slow down and drive through it at about 25, 30 miles per hour. All right, so moving forward. The wave that really starts up is 2 to 3 a.m. That's been the consistent timing, maybe 3, 4, and the other models were lining up with this, a good consensus, so I'm pretty confident on this timing. 7 a.m. again, 8 a.m., very intense, but as we get to 9 to 10, a little break, but it's not over. There's another wave expected in the afternoon, and with a little, I mean, I wouldn't call it heating. Look at the temperatures, only mid-60s, and so that's what I'm hoping helps us avoid severe cells, because we're just going to see a stabilizing atmosphere as the temperatures start dropping. We stay cloudy. Dew points are still a problem, but we should at least see this atmosphere calm down a little bit, not as volatile tomorrow. Hey, Mark, school bus drivers, Adriana, say a prayer for them tonight. Lord, protect them and the precious cargo they drive. Lord, protect them. It's really going to be a really dangerous commute tomorrow morning. It just really is. And so, look, the clearing as early as 5, maybe 6 p.m. tomorrow. That'd be fantastic before rodeo, night 2 of Helotes Carnival, PRCA rodeo. All right, if you're just joining us, let's get back to live radar, excuse me. I gotta just wet the whistle there. And the severe thunderstorm warning southwest of San Antonio. We're getting some heavy thunderstorms. First, the warning in the northwest Bexar County area. We'll get that in just a moment. But first, the most important is the strongest storm on the map right now. And you can see it taking that little right turn I was talking about. Let me take lightning off and look at the most intense part just in the center of the polygon. And it edging up into LaSalle County until 12:30. So a good another 35 minutes on this. And I'll show you that the hail tracker indicating, oh yeah, it's about the same size. Let's get that last badge off of there. .8, so just under apple size, maybe baseball size hail right there. David, any UGC coming in? Not yet. I'll encourage if someone can safely get pictures of what we are seeing out there, be the eyes around Big Wells, Catarina. These are always times too. I mean, it's not too late. Give a call to people that you know in these areas and just make sure they're not watching a movie on Netflix and missing what's going on out there. You could very well be living in Cotulla and you're watching a movie tonight or reading a book. You have no idea that there's a supercell thunderstorm expected to reach you guys pretty soon. In fact, let's go ahead and track that now while we're talking about it. I always like to track the hail core, and it was moving east at 30 miles per hour. So let's look at the timing heading into Cotulla. We're hitting Valley Wells at 12:03. So in the next 5 to 6 minutes, Valley Wells, protect any vehicle. Get it under something or get something even over it. An old comforter works. Towels work over the glass if you want to do that, because this is going to be a damaging size hail. This is hail that will smash windshields and put serious dents in your vehicles. So if you can get them under something. I remember when in 2016 we had the hailstorm here that brought us softball size hail. My wife was bringing back one of our daughters from soccer practice in northeast Bexar County, driving all the way to Helotes, and pulled over into a bank drive-through, and several cars were underneath there to wait it out. But not before smashing a tail light. We lost a tail light because of the hail. Every roof in our neighborhood had to be replaced. Unbelievable hail that night. So Berks Elementary, I hope you saw the times, at 12:31 along with Cotulla. So right into the Cotulla area, then into LaSalle County. I'm not sure what that difference is with, I guess maybe the county, it could be the courthouse since Cotulla is the county seat. Maybe that's where the courthouse is. But that's 12:35. If you understand where that is, let me know, or let us know on our Facebook. Yeah, this is what we're looking at, AS. This is the hail core right here. Not in San Antonio, if that's what you mean. In Atkins, I'm sorry, just getting that. Not right now. Possible if the storm holds together, right? But this is a little farther south than Atkins would be, because this is moving due east right now. So let's go ahead and take this off and get back to radar. And let's go take a look at what we've got in Bexar County. Now coming into northwest Bexar County, you can see the rain rates are picking up at Leon Valley and northwest Bexar County here. Coming up on Helotes with some lightning. So at least we got everyone safely home from opening night at Cornwall, because thousands were out there tonight. And downtown getting some good rain. Again, this is not severe. We can take a look at hail tracker and make sure if any hail is being produced in that thunderstorm. A little bit there in southern Medina County, so a little purple dot. I don't know why it's not, well, I don't have it looping, that's why. Okay, so a little bit of hail there. But the only warning on the map right now, southwest. Again, but everyone, well, not everyone, because not where this thunderstorm is occurring. But beginning at San Antonio West through Hondo, Uvalde, the flood watch that's in effect until tomorrow night at 9 p.m. But the dangerous thunderstorm now is just between Asherton and Cotulla, staying north of Catarina, but Catarina getting very heavy rainfall. It's really coming down there. But this hail core is between Big Wells and Catarina, moving due east towards LaSalle County and Cotulla. So it'll be coming up on Cotulla very shortly. A lot of dangerous cloud to ground lightning. Good time to always point out, as I like to do about lightning safety, look at how far away some of those bolts are being picked up. It's not even raining. See how miles away from the cell. In fact, let's take a look at just how many miles. This bolt right here, look at that, 30 miles away practically, 28 miles from the center of that cell. Or, you know, I mean, we can do it from where the lightning grouping is even, but fascinating, right? Let's just do it from there. Sorry, wrong click. You know, up to 15 miles, but not even raining. This is why when thunder roars, get indoors. Lightning can strike wherever you're standing. If you hear thunder, lightning can strike where you're standing if you're outside. Because, again, look at that, 15 miles from the rain, from the, you know, lightning area, I'll call it. You can get these rogue lightning bolts that are deadly. It's very dangerous. Okay, so now there's the new warning. Into LaSalle County now is a new warning that's been issued. So I'm glad I have it up right now like this, because this is now time to run back to KENS 5 television. I'll keep it right here. And we'll loop, and I shall return shortly. All right, we're back after just getting some crawl updates on Ken's 5 television. Trying to get out of the tangle I'm in here. Okay, there we go. Hope everybody's having a good night. 2 warnings now, and also some pretty good thunderstorms beginning to erupt in the San Antonio area, northwest Bexar County, as well as Medina County, just down Highway 90 to the west. Now, neither one of these cells is severe, but now one south of Hondo I'm definitely keeping an eye on that one. I can see it's kind of getting stronger and building a little bit there as it's coming up on Highway 90 between Hondo and Castroville. Notice you can see the other thunderstorm is moving right across here at Ken's 5 in the medical center, right up Bandera Road and about to cross the I-10 corridor, and it's going to impact Fair Oaks Ranch up to Bernie. It looks like it's only going to clip Medina Lake, unfortunately. But this second thunderstorm, as I mentioned, is now south of Hondo. But again, reminding you, neither one of these severe. Let's go to the severe cells that are down to the south and west. Maverick County, in between Eagle Pass and Crystal City. That's going to be the first thunderstorm warning there. Good evening. Bill Taylor here live in the Ken's 5 Digital Center. Hope you're having a good evening. God's peace. We're now 12/21. Happy birthday, San Antonio. Happy birthday, San Antonio, the city's birthday, May 1. We were founded on this day in 1718. So we are now 308 years old. Happy birthday. We don't look a day over 275. Yeah, San Antonio's birthday. Feliz cumpleaños, San Antonio. So 2 active warnings, the first till 12:30, Dimmitt County. And I want to thank the great Alicia Nieves for letting me know that. She was just in the newsroom a little while ago and shared with us the birthday, almost an anniversary. Okay, so, well, anniversary of the founding, all right. Quemado to Eagle Pass, and you can see the polygon goes to La Pryor and Crystal City. So this is where the hail's going to be. And always, you know, the largest. And let's see what that largest looks like. First, we've got to do that. Okay, let's get on both of these now. And now take a look at hail core number 1. 1.5 is a ping pong ball. It's possibly going to do some dent work to vehicles, but it won't be a glass breaker. And then this is smaller, probably going to be just under an inch maybe. Yeah, 0.6 of an inch near Cotulla. But these 2 warnings in effect now, 12:30 on LaSalle County. And you can see there's still a leftover polygon here, but that'll probably go by the wayside because we'll be able to see the impact areas moving east of there. Asherton is improving. This is, again, wave 1 of what is going to be an active weather day tomorrow. There's a better, believe it or not, a better severe weather threat tonight than there is tomorrow. You know, normally daytime heating, daytime sunshine will help fuel more severe weather. We really won't have either one tomorrow. We're going to probably stay in the mid-60s, low to mid-60s all of tomorrow. It's going to be a cool, wet Friday, May 1. And it's kind of poetic in the sense, too, our city's birthday, but it's also the first day of what is historically the wettest month in San Antonio's year. So here we are starting May the way we probably should, with a good, amount of some much needed rain. Don't forget, this is all extreme to still some pockets of exceptional drought area. And in fact, those 2 warnings, that heaviest rain is hitting the bullseye. That's exactly where we want it. That's where the exceptional drought continues. We saw an improvement to severe and extreme, but the exceptional drought was right down here to the southwest of San Antonio. All right, so let's look at the heavy rain too that's moving through the I-10 corridor now and stretching across and now soon into Hollywood Park, Timberwood Park. There is a lot of lightning with this. I took it off, but Not the cluster that you normally see, of course, with the hail-producing thunder cells, but this one is very heavy rainfall, dangerous lightning moving just off to the west of Alamo Heights, but going to be impacting Hollywood Park. It's over Castle Hills right now, heading towards Garden Ridge. Not severe, but very heavy rain. Probably a good 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gust, so don't be surprised if you hear or experience some pretty good wind gusts over the next few minutes here in this area. Just give you a look at where that is. Again, Almost Park getting good rain. That is the basin of our city, the lowest part where the Almost Dam was built after the flood of 1920. That was when downtown was flooded and underwater, but ever since then we've been protected with the Almost Dam. But that flood, 98, oh my gosh, the water level was up to the trees that you see on Bassey Road. When you're driving 281 and exiting Bassey to go into the quarry area, those trees that you see over at Almost Park, if you look to the right, if you're coming from downtown, I guess, it would be on the right side. And the water was to the top of those trees in 98. It was unbelievable, but downtown protected. But that's why, again, it also pulled up kind of. So soon, you can see again, nothing severe here, no hail. This is just going to be some good lightning and some very heavy rain. Can't hear me. Uh-oh. Maybe a little on the low side. Let me go up a little bit more. Is that better? There we go. There we go. That was a low level. I apologize. Yeah, drought report. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, because today is Thursday. This today rain will not count on the drought report this week. It will next week. The data deadline, I'll call it, is Tuesday. The release day is Thursday. So let's see what kind of improvement, real quick, and we'll get back to radar in a moment, we had on the drought report. I'm so glad you brought it up. So still, yeah, exactly what I was saying. You can still see that we've got the exceptional drought spot right where we're getting that heaviest rain tonight. Half of Bexar County now into moderate drought. Big improvement for San Antonio, Comal County. This is good news. Look at this. This is a significant change from last week to today. We're now into moderate drought for most of Bexar County, but we still have extreme drought for a third of the county. Then you'll see severe drought east through Gonzales into Hallettsville. Hill Country still in good shape with most of Edwards County in good shape with rainfall stats. Okay, back to radar. So glad you brought that up. Who was that again? Terry. Thank you. Appreciate it. What else? Well, I'm off. Okay, good night. I'm sorry. I think it's back up. Got it all good. Lightning, booming thunder near Cotulla. Thanks, Jose. Yeah, that's now the brunt of that storm moving into Cotulla, taking that little eastern turn along Highway 97. So let's see what kind of hail we've got with this guy. Getting a little better there. That hail size is growing to a 7/10, almost an inch diameter. Again, radar estimate, okay? Radar estimate. Now, one thing that we're not worried about is rotation. We don't have an environment conducive to a lot of wind shear. So we're just seeing winds in one direction. They're strong winds, but as long as we see these greens just, by themselves, there's 40 mile per hour gusts, 30. That's what about right there? Okay. Closer to Cotulla. Not too bad. Again, all radar estimates. Could be a much different story in reality sometimes, but it's what we have, and most of the time it's definitely in the neighborhood, plus or minus 10, on each side. So 2 cells, no severe weather threat in San Antonio. Heavy rain though moving in. You'll hear the thunder Here we are with two good pockets of moving across the Highway 90 corridor between Hondo and Castroville, and then the second now into the 281 North corridor between Hollywood Park and Timberwood Park. Both cells moving east-northeast, about 30 miles per hour has been the pace on most of these most of the evening. The cells southwest, a little bit more to the east, but here's warning number 1 until 1 a.m., LaSalle County. That's going to be Cotulla, considerable threat. And then Maverick and Zavala counties, from La Pryor down to Crystal City is where that cell is moving east, right along Highway 57, and that warning until 1 a.m. That one has a better chance of moving in, south of Uvalde and probably impacting Pearsall, maybe into Atascosa County, which are all south if you're just tuning in of what we've got with the flood watch. This is in effect through Friday evening, 9 p.m., and this is the Edwards Plateau, the Hill Country, and the I-35 corridor, with tonight being the first wave of what is expected to be a very wet Friday. About 3 waves of very heavy rain expected during the day tomorrow. Look at the overnight. This is 3 a.m.'s future radar picture. Look at 4, 5. It just increases from there into rush hour. So honestly, I was suggesting this. If you're up late tonight, maybe you don't have to get up early. Well, do a friend a favor. If you know somebody that's going to be out on a morning rush hour, make sure, number 1, you're praying for them. Number 2, you give them a call at, about 15, 20 minutes earlier than normal, knowing what time, so they get up and going early. You don't want to be in a rush. You want to be able to take your time, go slow, and be safe, because it's going to be a very wet commute tomorrow morning, very heavy rain. When we think about bus drivers, our school bus drivers, Lord, protect them. We pray protection over them, God. Thank you in your name. And then look, clearing east for a break at 10, but we're not done. We move into the afternoon, another impulse at around 1 p.m., a little more scattered in the afternoon, but then look, maybe clearing as early as 5 p.m., 6 p.m. And I was looking at the other models. I want to get back to live radar. There's a good consensus. They agree with the timing, with the intensity, and so that's always a good sign that if you have the models agreeing, obviously the likelihood of it holding in a good forecast that you can put a good amount of confidence in, for sure. So the most southern storm on 35 now, crossing over I-35 at Cotulla, is got the best coverage of, I'll just say, real estate. It's going to move east, probably into McMullen County for Tilden, into the 1 a.m. hour, into the overnight. Now, that's also when we could see other pockets, let's zoom this out, of heavy rain. Look back to the west and see how you've got those cells filling in over the border up near Del Rio, pushing in to eastern Maverick County, northeast of Eagle Pass. You can also see a good impulse firing north of Kerrville. That just gives you an idea. It's just going to be a wave of instability aloft that picks up energy along the way, good high dew points, and just fires, especially with certain convective temps, and you get these isolated pockets of heavier rain or stronger thunderstorms. And that's what's going to be the pattern through the next almost 24 hours. It's going to be a good amount of Friday, like I showed you, until about 5 or 6 almost p.m. The flood watch is until 9 p.m., just thinking that it could be that long, obviously residual effects after the rain too. I mentioned this earlier. Severe Prediction Center made the call early at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, saying, look, level 2 risk. They upgraded. Notice that the severe weather threat is south of San Antonio, so we're not expecting a severe weather situation for the city, although thunderstorms are not out of the question. We're getting a thunderstorm right now across the north side, okay? So it's not severe. These are, I should say, the 2 severe cells that are active right now, southwest of San Antonio down I-35, south of Pearsall, and that's Frio County, into Cotulla, which is LaSalle County. And that cell is a large area of very heavy rainfall, really coming down. And this is right on the exceptional drought pocket that I just showed you on the drought report. So that is, I'm talking red bullseye of where we need the most rain. or where we need rain the most. I guess both are accurate. All right, so Pleasanton, you'll probably stay north of the heaviest rain, but notice showers will start moving in. Christine, Jourdanton, you're all going to start getting some better rain. And this could flare out a little bit more if it hits again some other good pockets. Hopefully we don't see large hail. I don't think we will, Grace. I really don't. Even if we do get hail, it's not an environment that would make it large. I mean, it would honestly be pea-sized hail. But these storms are not strong. Well, they're strong. They're not severe, I should say, and they're not producing large hail. We can take a look, and let's just see. We'll keep that there for a moment and go to the tracker. No, nothing. So good sign there. Nothing to worry about on hail, but again, lightning and heavy, heavy rain, especially now moving into Castroville. That thunderstorm is getting stronger. In fact, let's take a look at, I'm afraid this could be our next warning right here. It's going to move into far west San Antonio. Far west San Antonio, Bexar County line, pretty much at Medina County, where that, Petranco Road area, that's all going to start getting some very heavy rain here shortly. Won't last more than 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but it is going to be very intense as it moves through. We're not seeing any hail, but we are going to have dangerous lightning, so please stay where you are for just a few minutes. Let this pass through. Do not be driving wherever you are. It's not going to be long. You can wait and be safe and just play it a lot safer that way. And also that storm, okay, that's getting a little bit stronger there over 281 to now it's growing east into Schertz and going up I-35. So that area is now going to get some good rain in Windcrest. Thank you, Lisa. A lot of rain. No. There it is. Very nice, Eric. Very nice. Yeah. Just keep an eye on that one. And we're just going to... Bernie. Oh, absolutely, man. This is, it's my pleasure. It's what we do. And I appreciate you. Absolutely, Lisa. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, you're right here then too, Grace. Okay. Well, we've got, again, a little break right now, but you're hearing the thunder when I'm hearing the thunder, I would imagine. We're going to hear the thunder again here soon. You can see a little more lightning beginning to develop over Castroville, as well as even this cell here, again, moving over Schertz. Or into Schertz is a new little, see how that just bloomed? Right off the downdraft of the Hollywood Park cell, you'll get another cell just start developing, or a little pocket of heavier rainfall off that downdraft. It's almost like just a little boundary on the surface because, again, these are decent-sized storms that are going to produce this lightning like this, okay? You've got to have good updraft in order to get that kind of good amount of a good lightning cluster, if you will. Let's, speaking of which, go down to where that is occurring. Look at these cells. And when I talk about heights, let's take the lightning off. We'll need to go here to this product first. This is a better radar view, more accurate depiction. The other is a composite of several layers, like several tilts of almost a profile of the storm, while this is more zeroed in. And so you see those rainfall intensities. And what I want to do is just go in here, right where it's the most intense, and see what kind of storm heights. So this gives you altitude, and you can see we're upwards of 40 to 50,000 feet on this cell. So that's not, I mean, it is a severe thunderstorm, but typically a large hail producer is going to be ranging 50 to 60,000 feet. And that's when you're going to get the, dangerous size hail. So anything that is in here, 1 inch diameter probably, right at the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. And don't forget, winds are part of that too. These winds have been very strong. 60 mile per hour to 70 mile per hour gusts in some of the cells were reported earlier in these cells. So yeah, it's just a look at a 3D slice of what the storm height can be. I want to take a look now. Let's compare and contrast with this cell. And slice it right here. And it's about the same actually. So right about 40,000 feet as well. So again, hail size would be 1 inch, probably right on the nose. Here's the storm. What is a lot easier to look at, right? Without all the 3D imagery. So live radar sweep right here, and looking at these cells with good high-res radar. And look how intense that rain is over Live Oak right now. Look at the last 2 hours, and that's really starting to fill in right there. Going to be going right up I-35. Very heavy rain over Castroville as well, and now moving into far west San Antonio. So this is hitting a pretty good population center. Again, across far west 1604 and Highway 90, and it's going to be going right up the 1604 corridor, 151 into eventually Helotes, and then the I-10 corridor. Tommy's got thunder and lightning off of Babcock North, next to Springtime Park. Thanks for the report. Stay safe. Guess what? It is. There it is. We're here. Happy birthday, San Antonio, everybody. Feliz cumpleaños. San Antonio, 308 today. Thanks to my co-worker, good friend, Alicia Nieves, for reminding us all that today is San Antonio's birthday. We were founded on May 1st, the year 1718. So happy birthday, San Antonio. I love this city. Lived here for the most years I've been alive now. 30 years here. San Antonio this year. I'm here 30 years. I love it. All my girls were born here. We just love this city so much. The culture, the pace of life, the faith of the city, the first skyline of the city were the missions. And it's just a beautiful thing that the first thing we did here was honor God. Praise God. The first thing we did in this city was honor God. And it was founded, our city was founded at the steps in the area, right at the Alamo, and in San Fernando Cathedral, the Canary Islanders, and it's a beautiful story. 1718, 308 years ago today. Okay, so in our birthday city, here we are. We're raining on your birthday. I always joke, right? We're getting rain on your birthday. I always, like, that's kind of a weatherman joke, like, hey man, watch it. I'll make it rain on your birthday. I always say that to people. Well, now, San Antonio, getting rain on your birthday, and a lot of it today. A lot of it May 1st. One of those days that we could, gosh, let's take a look at, I wonder what it is. The one-day rainfall, as we look at radar, the one-day rainfall record. Let's take a look. So for May 1, record precip is 309, 3 inches and 9 hundredths, 309, 1994. I don't. It's possible. I mean, some of the rain predictions on a mount was at 2.7, so that's awfully close. But yeah, we're underway. So 309, and we definitely are in the gauge at the airport. Let's see if there is anything on that. Oh, new warning has just gone under. There it is, until 1:45, Frio and Zavala counties. This is Batesville, Crystal City, La Pryor. Let's get a look at what this warning is going to tell us. Well, why aren't you doing that for me now? If I do that. Okay. The storm is about 10 miles northwest of Las Colonias, 10 miles southwest of La Pryor, moving east at 45 miles per hour, ping pong ball size hail, 60 mile per hour wind. So east at 45. Let's take a look right in here. We'll have to change the parameters on this because we had it at 30. So this cell's moving a little faster. I want to storm track it out. Okay. Right where it's the most intense, right where it's also going to be the hail core. And moving east. Put a little jog on it to the north. Okay, so we're in La Pryor at 1251. Crystal City 1257. H&F Properties at 1258. Batesville and the school area 110. Pearsall, McKinley Field, and West Pearsall 151. Then top of the hour, JK Ranch 210. Goldfinch. That's going to be into maybe almost Atascosa County at that point. But yeah, moving east quickly too, 45 miles per hour, but very heavy rainfall. And we can probably see, let's take a look at what hail size is estimated at. Give you another look at that. Again, this is, you can see where San Antonio is, upper right-hand corner of our screen. This storm will stay south of the city, but very heavy rain is moving into the city as we speak. So sizable hail core. Wow, look at the amount of area it's on too. Let's head on in there and see where this is exactly. There's Highway 83. Right in the heart of it here for 2.2. So that's coming up on, gosh, like a billiard ball, like, you know. That's because 2.5, you're coming up on baseball. I would say kind of in between a golf ball and a baseball-sized hailstone. That's going to, you know, do some damage to windows. So please make sure you are protecting your vehicle in this area. Highway 83 between La Pryor and Crystal City. Now let's see what we can get off of. I'm going to have to probably zoom this out a little bit more. Move this a little bit this way. Now let's track. And track the hail core itself east. Again at 40 miles per hour. Oh, didn't pick that up right. There we go. All right, at the leading edge of the hail core east towards Pearsall, moving into Frio County, but Las Colonias at 1256, H&F Properties at 1 a.m. And both cells are going to survive. I mean, there's ample energy, ample fuel for these storms to continue to operate. Again, well south of San Antonio, and that'll stay that way, but very strong thunderstorms out there tonight. Remember, too, while we're on this wider view, that the flood watch is in effect until Friday evening, 9 p.m., Edwards Plateau, Hill Country, I-35 corridor. So it's, you know, there goes Mother Nature being ironic, where all of the heavy rain is falling out of the watch area right now. But that's right now. Again, we're expecting the radar to really fill in the overnight. So let's, from this view, take it and put reflectivity over that and see exactly what I'm talking about. And you can, again, see a little bit more filling in between Del Rio, Laredo. We get the sun up. It'll definitely help fill in a little bit more and more. Through the morning hours, a little, you know, more into midday and tomorrow afternoon as well. And that's why, again, the watch is in effect until 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Okay, so good heavy rain now crossing over into Comal County. So soon you'll start getting some heavier rain in New Braunfels. There's also a good deal of lightning with this, so please make sure, oh wow, especially up in New Braunfels, that's intensifying. That storm looks to be building right now, as a matter of fact, as it's coming up on New Braunfels. Yeah, that's definitely a... Okay, we might have to watch this one. This could be our next warning, actually, the way this is behaving. It's taking that little right turn over I-35, right over Schertz. Oh, wow. And that's beelining for Seguin. I would prepare for some pretty gusty winds. You can see a little bit of that, what's called a bow echo. See how it's moving, almost making that greater than sign? See right in here? How it kind of bows out like that? Right where you see that lightning cluster, the reflectivity starts to make that greater than symbol. And that's when wind gusts are really increasing and probably going upwards of 50 miles per hour at this point, because it's still a rather small cell and that energy is just kind of getting cranked up. But this could be something to watch. This could be the next severe thunderstorm warning as it moves into Guadalupe County and starts to impact New Braunfels and Seguin. Looks like it'll stay, the heaviest will stay north of you, St. Hedwig, but Schertz definitely going to see this as it is right now. Castroville and far west San Antonio, you see right into downtown. And boy, this would be nice for Medina Lake. Let's take it for the last 30 minutes in loop and see what we're going to do. It's going to skip it. It's going to miss it. Be so nice if it just put down some heavy rain there. How long are you going to be at work? And it was Paul Gonzaga. Jose, right? Until I, no. Actually, it'll be David Guerrero. David, I was talking about Cornival earlier. He was live there, and that this rain didn't really get heavy over Helotes until about, I think it was about 10:45, 11. So there was definitely a lot of people out there still, but at least most people were probably leaving. Storm all night and morning and all day, Stephen. It looks like we're going to get a few waves. This is wave 1 across the city. From west to east, we're just going to have a good storm track for the next, well, not 24 hours, but now I'd say about 18 hours. Hopefully it clears out by about 6 p.m., maybe as early as 5 tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, there's going to be a few waves. Pouring coming down, Melissa and Schertz, thank you for that report. Stay safe. Hello, Carl. How are you? Yeah, into Go Spurs Go, Melissa. Like I said, they will continue. We'll get breaks, but localized flooding is going to be possible with the rainfall rates we're going to see with these cells. We're definitely going to have some flooding issues. So here are the thunderstorm warnings. We've got LaSalle County. That's going to be where Cotulla is. It's now the storm is moving east of Cotulla, but these are some strong, dangerous thunderstorms. And this one moving east at 45 miles per hour in between La Pryor and Crystal City. That warning is going to impact Batesville, Crystal City, as well as La Pryor. But, you know, the real intense area of that storm should stay between them. But I wouldn't say that's the case for Batesville. I think this you're going to get the center of the storm in Batesville. So you'll get the largest hail, which let's take a look now while we're here. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's been kind of, you know, what we call pulsing. These storms will kind of power down a little bit and then they'll power right back up. It's kind of a pulsing action that severe cells do. 1.5 inches in diameter there, and then here east of Cotulla while we're at it, running at 0.6. Oh, let's get in here though. I don't think I grabbed it right. Yeah, 1 inch, there it is. 1 inch diameter there, east of Cotulla, 1.4 at hail size for that cell. And again, you can see that the hail core, the largest portion of it is right down the middle of La Pryor and Crystal City. So that's good. And you can see Uvalde just give you a locator at the top of your screen. And we're down I-35 from San Antonio. So I'm going to put us right about here. get some crawls updated on television. Okay. I'll leave you in safe hands with the live radar continuing. We got warnings in effect to our south and southwest. Again, hopefully most folks are inside and safe tonight, but give some neighbors a call. If you know people in these areas, they could be up late watching a movie. You never know. Just text them. Make sure they're aware of what's going on. All right, stay safe. We'll be back, and we'll be updating KENS 5 on the bottom of your screen.